Have pronunciations been a problem for you? Let's talk about ways to improve and master your pronunciation and how to do it right. Hi, I am Ajeeth from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary Learn It Together English fluency program. With Capshine, learning English is easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective. And of course, through Capshine's learning program, we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. Let's look at these pronunciation tips to improve your pronunciations. The first thing to realize is, well, there are two things. There is something called syllables and something called stress when it comes to pronunciations. The first thing, of course, is syllables. What are syllables? Well, these are the sounds that a word can be broken into. Words can have 1 syllable, 2 syllables, all the way up to 8 syllables. We'll look at a few of these examples and see what they mean. The key is to make sure you pronounce these syllables for what they are and not confuse the sounds, and also pronounce the syllables or the sounds correctly. Let's look at some 1-syllable words to understand what they are. Dog. Notice that it's a single sound. Dog. I don't break it into any pieces. Dog. Job. Again, 1 sound. Fat. 1 sound. Single syllable words. Let's mix it up and talk about 2-syllable words, and this will give you an idea as to what syllables are. Apple. Notice how the word apple has 2 sounds coming together. Apple. Apple. Person. 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 Picture. 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 These are all 2-syllable words. Notice how there are 2 parts or 2 sounds that come together, and that is essentially what a syllable is. Let's take this a notch above and look at 3 syllables, and we'll go all the way up to 5. Banana. 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 Beautiful. 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 Right? So although when you say it in one go, when you break it down, you'll realize that there are 3 sounds to beautiful. Tomorrow. 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 So with most of these single syllable and double syllable words, we usually don't have a problem when it comes to syllables themselves. We do not break it down into more sounds, or we do not necessarily make them into 1 sound. But as the number goes up, we do have some problems. Let's see what those are. Let's look at some 4-syllable words. Information. Notice how there are 4 syllables or 4 sounds there. Information. Television. 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 Right? So it's not television, it's not 3 sounds, rather it's television. 4 sounds. Television. And a very commonly mispronounced word, calculator. I've heard a lot of people say calculator, right? Where they add another syllable, oo there. And that makes it incorrect. Calculator. So knowing that it's 4 syllable can help you avoid that mistakes. Calculator. And of course, 5-syllable words. Let's look at a few. University. 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 Investigation. Right? Investigation. Notice how the sounds, when broken down into the syllables, makes it very clear how it should be pronounced as well. Personality. Personality. Before we go to the next concept, let's quickly talk about the Capshine learning model. With a 30-day free trial, you get access to speaking opportunities, unlimited, with learning and practice opportunities as a group. Also, you get access to a coach who will give you feedback and recommendations on what your next steps should be. Also, you get access to your daily micro lessons through which you can learn, challenge yourself, and build yourself day after day, and live classes where you can build your foundations and get your doubts clarified live with the teacher. Alright, let's look at the next concept, shall we? Which is stress. Not the kind of stress where you're losing your hair, but the kind of stress where you pay attention to something and focus on that particular syllable. So as we saw, words can have multiple syllables, but you cannot pronounce them by stressing all of them equally. Some syllables will have more focus given to them, and some other syllables will play a smaller role. For example, looking at the word banana, notice how my sound goes up and down. Banana, banana. And many of the mistakes we make is because we stress the wrong syllable. Here are some rules though, some guidelines on how to have or how to look at syllable stress, and that can help us simplify all of this. So the pro tip here is 1. Usually, not always, but usually, when it's a noun or an adjective, the first syllable is stressed. And we'll look at some examples. When it's a verb, usually it's the second syllable that is stressed. Again, we will look at examples. And usually, if it's a longer word, then the middle syllable is stressed. Let's take a look at a few examples. Let's look at some nouns and see how the word stress works. Remember, for nouns, the first syllable is stressed. So, picture, picture. Notice how the ch bottoms down. It's softer. Picture. My stress is on the first syllable. Money. I don't say money, I say money, right? So the stress is again in the first syllable. Water. It's not water, it's water. First syllable, stress again. And of course, doctor. The stress again is on the first syllable. Let's look at some adjectives. Happy. Same rule. Happy. The first syllable is stressed. Yellow. First syllable. Useful. Again, I'm stressing on use, not full. Useful. Not useful. Useful. Formal. All of these words are adjectives where the first syllable is stressed, and this is generally the case. With nouns and adjectives, you stress on the first syllable. Alright, let's look at how this works for verbs now. Let's look at some verbs and see how that works. Decide. Decide whether this is going to work or not. It's a verb. Decide. So the stress is in the second syllable. Forget is not forget, it's forget. Notice how the stress is on the second syllable again. Explain, reject, produce. All these words had stress on the second syllable. So by knowing what the syllables were and knowing where to put the stress, your pronunciation is spot on. Let's look at some long words and see how that works. So we said for long words, usually the stress is in the middle syllable. Let's look at some examples. Information. Information. The stress is in may, not in, so it's not information, it's information, right? The may is where the stress is. Communication or communicate. Notice how mu is where the sound stress is. Revision, V being the stress word, not revision, no, revision. Economic, that is incorrect. The right way to say it is economic, right? Economic, which means something that's cheap. Although that said, economic relates to the economy, right? We will talk more about adjectives and verbs and how that changes the pronunciation in one of the following videos. Situation is not situation, no, it's situation. Notice the stress on A, situation. Great. That's the long and short of how you use syllables and stresses for syllables correctly to master your pronunciation. Do check out the other video on how to master pronunciation as well to complete your pronunciation mastery. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to never miss another video. And of course, do not forget to check out the 30-day free trial to get the whole basket of benefits to improve your English fluency. Thanks for watching.